Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Star Citizen's development can be very much faulted and praised on its transparency and communication, which is sometimes really well conveyed and great, and other times depressingly opaque. However, Chris Roberts has reappeared in the public eye to some extent, posting on forums, and actually has read the room pretty well now after posting a couple of pretty long answers to some questions on the forums, and has now started a Spectrum thread, Ask the Chairman. Hi everyone, I spend a fair amount of time reading community discussions and feedback, but I shy away from engaging as it can become a full-time job, one that I don't have available time for, as running a company of 630 people spread around the globe while directing 2 projects already takes way more time than 40 hours a week, especially as we now have to over-communicate internally as almost everyone is working from home. But once in a while reading something on Spectrum, I get the itch to share some context and information. I do recognise that the question I answered last week was somewhat arbitrary, as I like talking about Star Citizen. It is my dream game after all, and I am in a unique position to know both the big picture and the technical issues, so I thought it may be fun to answer another question from you guys. But this time you can have a hand in determining what question I answer. A few rules: no questions on timelines or schedules. When the revised roadmap is ready, that will be the best place to see what we currently estimate as our task durations. As much detail to the question, but don't make it multiple questions about different topics. Focus on systems that exist or we have said we plan to build. Blue sky theory crafting isn't going to be that useful, as we already have a huge backlog of stuff to achieve before we start wondering about new features. Be respectful. The question with the highest number of upvotes that adheres to these rules I'll answer to the best of my ability this weekend. And I should mention that the real heroes here are devs like CIG's Chad McKinney, and then there's a huge range of other devs that have spent loads of time answering questions on the forums, and sort of like going beyond their normal work hours. They're extremely busy, yet they take additional time beyond their normal work hours to answer questions for all of you. So the top questions currently are, well, actually, the top one at the moment at time of recording is more of a topic than a question, so I'm not sure if it will be answered by Chris here, but I suspect that it will get some more attention because of its upvotes. Language localization is the topic. Some of the Chinese and Russian community are already doing this to some extent, jury-rigging language localization in-game with Chinese and Russian characters, but they would also like Cloud Imperium support to get more official support for building localization in all other languages, which I think is actually pretty reasonable, and I think should get some more support from CIG and some statements on that in the future. So the other questions are: how is the dynamic economy shaping up, and is server meshing an essential requirement before Quantas or the dynamic universe simulation show up? What are your designs for much needed organization features, organization ship sharing, roles, common bank, privileges, etc.? How is your vision for Death of a Spaceman coming along? What hurdles are you currently facing, and what does the future hold? Could you please talk to us more about the new piping, power and transfer system? Newtonian mechanics as in orbiting celestial bodies, are they still planned? And how does this work with quantum travel? Will CIG take a break from Squadron's development after the release of episode 1 to focus more on the persistent universe? And how do you envision NPC crew gameplay? Now, I hope that this is a regular thing from Chris and or the Star Citizen devs. Answer a question in detail every week, taken directly on the forums, answered on the forums. I'd actually like lots of questions answered and asked. I think that would actually be pretty good. So it shows what the community is currently focused on and what they want answered in the form of hot topics and questions in general, for sure. That's great. It gives sort of like the devs a chance to work that out, answer it, put stuff in context. And for me even, it's great because I have more information about what videos might be worth putting up and what people want to actually see made. However, I do think that Cloud Imperium and Chris would be naive and missing a trick if this was just a one-time thing where Chris answered a question once. It should be like weekly or fortnightly, something like that. And it doesn't have to be Chris. It can be anyone, as long as these questions get answered. But it's nice to see Chris semi-regularly, him talking about the game of his dreams, and a lot of us probably backed because of Chris's vision for the game. So him talking about it more, that's great. More engagement like this, please, Cloud Imperium. But what do you think? Will we see questions for the chairman and similar posts more regularly now. What questions do you want to see answered? Make sure you add them to the Spectrum threads too, if they are not already being asked, and upvote the ones you do like. Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to read them in the comments below. What am I shilling for today, I hear you ask? Do you hate it when people steal all of your money and your house over the internet? I know I do. NordVPN may have been invented by wizards to help protect your personal data from the prying eyes of the dark web, a sinister cabal of technomancers that grow in power the more they know about your browsing habits. The true story of NordVPN's origins are unknown and lost to the ages, and without using facts, no one really knows how it provides more accessibility to otherwise censored websites or a safer security experience for all that use it. All I know is that it does, and that when you sign up to it, the power level of my bank account grows, and I use it, and maybe you should too. Every month we have a giveaway for a Star Citizen ship. For this month of September, it's for the Talon Light Fighter, the Battlebird Glass Cannon. Just comment on any of my videos made during September 2020 to be in for a chance of winning that. That ship should be flyable by the end of the year. If you'd like to further support the channel, there is Patreon or YouTube channel memberships via the join button down below. That will net you some exclusive content each month, but sharing videos, liking, subscribing, dinging the bell, as well as commenting and giving feedback really does help the channel to grow and give me an idea of what you guys want. Thanks very much for watching, you take care, and I'll see you in the verse.